we've taken this film to Cannes. It was amazing. We've gone to London and blown out there, amazing, and Australia, amazing. But this is not that. This is not that. It's true what Joel said. 5 years ago, I had to ask someone, when was the first time I came to Memphis? When was the first time I went to Tupelo? It was 5 years ago. And Angie set me up in the archives, and the whole town though, like whether myself and my research team were at Graceland, or whether we were looking for someone like wonderful Sam Bell, who took a long time to find and sadly passed last year, or I know in this room there are many people who knew Elvis, or the family, or the story, because it's the home of this story. And we will do other things. It's great to be in Cannes, but it's almost mythical the way that coming back to Graceland has brought the family, has brought the cast, has brought everyone here. It's almost not imaginable. And the feeling today, just being with everyone and talking about the journey of the film, I mean, can you imagine everything here that we had to build in Australia, like every square inch? I mean, Austin was reminding me that when he went back to the house, that he could look at the stairs and go, you know, I broke up with my wife on these stairs, you know? And I went, Austin is acting, okay, right? But look, it's not like anything else. It's not like a normal premiere or a normal getting together like this. It's that special. And this special place kept the light shining when we thought we could not make the film, when we thought it would come to an end. When Tom first got COVID, and I rang him and he said, oh, maybe we wait until February. He said, we've got to show that we can do it. It all started here, and it's amazing that we are all back here. So I thank everyone in this room for helping us. Now I have the amazing cast, and as you know in the story, Elvis grows up and he's often on Beale Street, and so you have to have extraordinary performers who can not only act but also sing some of these roles. Like take, for example, Sister Rosetta Tharpe. Well, that would have to be Yola playing the role of Sister Rosetta Tharpe, and here she is. See, Yola and I are dressing in exactly the right tones. Let's see if everyone else holds the flag up. You know, to have someone play Priscilla, to have begun, you know, in her journey when she meets Elvis very young, but also to evolve into this mature, iconic character in her own right. You know, we have found in Olivia DeJonge, please come to the stage, Olivia. A new star. Wow, you both know how to walk down a catwalk. It's amazing. I made a rule, which I thought I'd be able to get out of making the movie, and the rule was, I'm not making this movie. I very rarely make movies. I'm not making it unless I can find Elvis. Someone can play Elvis. I thought, like, that's great. I'll never find someone to play Elvis. Now, I don't know, but a lot of you have heard the stories about how it came about. It wasn't a normal casting process. It's almost like Austin found it, but it was almost like he was born to play it. And you know what? I even had to put a video out yesterday to show him in one of his early screen tests singing, because no one believes that he sings all of the young Elvis in the movie. And you know what, that's just the tip of the iceberg. I won't say anything more because a lot of you are about to see his performance, but please welcome Austin Butler. Rounding out just a quick side note, because it's exciting to bring all kinds of actors together, but one of the thrills I have is to sometimes take an actor at the beginning of his journey, hasn't had much of a go, not much of a chance, and give them a few lines and see how they go. And you know, this one did pretty well. I mean, he's at first Tom Hanks, ladies and gentlemen. Again, in the early part of Elvis's life, influences, you know, but also his friends. And you know, we have Little Richard in the film, sung beautifully but played amazingly by Alton Mason, who is also here. I think Alton is as snappy a dresser as Little Richard was in real life, don't you think? Now, B.B. King, by the way, B.B. King. I was at Beale Street last night. I came back here after 5 years. The first place we went down to Beale Street. You can still go down that street. You can still go to a place. And there was a young guy, long hair, 25, bass player, older man, still blowing it away. Amazing. Just across from B.B. King's joint. To get an actor to play that character and to wear shorts like that, Kelvin Harris Jr., ladies and gentlemen. I mean, maybe, Tom, maybe you want to say just a little something being here in Graceland.
Well, hey, great, yeah, sure. I'd like to think I'm responsible for 2 movies about Memphis. Not only do I play the manager that helped make possible in his diabolical genius way, many a platinum record that has been delivered to Graceland. I also made the movie about the messenger delivery service that can deliver those platinum records overnight, on time, 365 days a year by way of FedEx. Not bad, huh? Look, I just want to say that as an actor, I found myself shooting in castles in which kings once lived in. I shot in palaces that have been turned into museums that were the homes of kings. I've shot in museums in which kings and queens have lived in. But notice all of those kings, queens have an S on the end of them, meaning that there are more than one. At Graceland, we are visiting the home of the king.
I don't know how to follow that besides the fact that it just means the world to me getting to be here with all of you, it feels weird even saying making this film, but this life that we got to live for, it's been a part of my life now for 3 years, and I just can't say enough how much this means to me. Also, my sister's in the audience tonight. She's gonna get to see the film for the first time. This is for Mama. I love you, Ash.
Actually, speaking of that, one thing that I said when I began is that this isn't like a Cannes or a premiere. It's not like that. And I think what makes the difference is that we usually go and we invite people into our theatre, but you see, we've been invited into a home, and it's a home. It's the Presley home, and here tonight are the Presleys. And can I invite to the stage, first of all, Elvis's dear friend, Jerry Schilling. You know, an amazing moment also, but to have the person who played Priscilla, but also to have Priscilla here. I know we're going to get material for the sequel. I know that. I have to say, I met this young woman before I began this, and I will bring her on, but she's part of the family, but she also just won the Cam d'Or at Cannes. Can you believe that? Right, Riley Keough. I mean, what a talented young woman. It's great to be on stage with the new generation of directors. And then someone who very early on I met and have forever been thankful that they've been there through the whole journey, and what a journey it's been. But yeah, it's Lisa. It's my person.
Yes, of course, we want to say something. Obviously, thank you so much for joining us for this wonderful, wonderful occasion. My family, I'm not going to just speak for myself, but we're here to support this movie and to back all the folks here today that were in the film. And of course, Baz, you're genius. I mean, what you've done, and you know the story, that I was very reluctant at first, not knowing how this film was going to turn out, because, you know, Baz can get a little, you know, he's got his own take, has his own take on things, and I was nervous, and actually the first viewing that Jerry and I got, we were by ourselves in the theater, we did not speak at all. And we weren't going to go to Cannes because we hadn't seen the film yet, and my concern was, oh my gosh, I'm going to go. I know Baz, I mean, not personally, but I do know he's on his own, and and he listens to no one, and he does everything. He's not only the producer, but the writer. He is the heart and soul of this film. So as we're sitting in the audience, not the audience, in the theater, Jerry and I not talking to each other, and I leaned over to Jerry and I said, well, it looks like we're going to Cannes. So we're here this evening, and of course my daughter being here, and I know she loved it. And of course Riley, as we know, has got her own award at her film that she had. This is a big celebration for all of us, and I want to thank the cast to this film. The cast was unreal. Austin, you know how we feel. Truly, Elvis morphed into you, I have to say. You had his guidance. You had his guidance. Tom, you were amazing as Colonel. You were amazing. You got it down, and we had a talk about him at long lunch, and you did it. You really did it. You gave it so much thought, and that means a whole lot to us. And of course, beautiful Olivia. Thank you so much. You touched my heart in the film. You truly did. And of course, all of you did a great part in this. So thank you so much. Lisa, you want to say something?
Sure. Hi. I do want to say that I feel so honored to be part of this. I really wasn't expecting this. I didn't know what to expect. I saw it twice. The first time I saw it, I was just nervous. I was gripping the chair, like, oh God, what's gonna happen? What is this? How's the actor gonna be? How's, is it gonna be too crazy? Is it gonna be, it's been one, in my life, it's been one disappointment after the other in terms of people portraying my father in various films or attempts to, bless their hearts, I'm sure that they meant well. Sure they meant well, but let me just tell you something. It's at this point, I tell you this with all my heart, and that's the reason I'm here. It's been done right. In every way. Baz, all the cast, Austin. I can't even, like, it's hard for me to even get the words out to Austin. But it just the devotion and the everything, just from the speaking to obviously the performances, the dances, the movements, but just the silly mannerisms, and not in a way that's a caricature or some satire or some, silliness. Like, he genuinely grabbed his spirit like I've never seen before. And having, not been, I was quite young, but I still remember, my father's energy and his vibe, and Austin absolutely in what's the word? He nailed it. Yes. And Baz, obviously, the whole cast has been incredible, and Baz, I have no words for you. You took me. I saw it with you. I was terrified, and then after he came in, I watched it alone by myself in a movie theater. Baz left me, and he came back to get me when it was over, and he said, "What do you think?" And I was like, I'm a wreck, and then I just started crying my eyes out to Baz, and ended up in his arms, and I was just a mess. So that was the first time, and the second time was, one of the most incredible, and then I'll shut up, things that I didn't know was that Austin's actually singing all of the young Elvis. So I didn't know, though, okay? The first time I saw the movie, I actually didn't catch it. I thought he was using tracks. So I just want to say that, because that was quite shocking for me, as well as everything else that he did. That was incredible. But okay, I'll be quiet now. I love the movie, and I hope you do as well.
I just have to say one thing. In the audience tonight, I want to say hi to Dixie Loft. Dixie, you also mentioned that film. This was Elvis's first girlfriend, and I love her to death. I love her to death. Standa, good to see you. Sorry.
Well, I think maybe we just slink off this way and let all you fine folks see the movie. Shall we do that? Thank you so very much. I hope you enjoy the film. I really do. Thank you. That's TCB. It's time for TCB.